The most haunted place in Ireland. In the heart of Ireland stands Leap Castle, a place shrouded in mystery, bloodshed, and the supernatural. Known as the most haunted location in the country, this ancient fortress has been home to power struggles, betrayal, and some of the darkest acts in Irish history. From the brutal murder in the Bloody Chapel to the malevolent force of the elemental and the terrifying legend of the Dogman, Leap Castle holds more than just a history of violence, it holds the spirits of those who never left. Join us as we explore the chilling tales and ghostly encounters that make Leap Castle the most haunted place in Ireland. Leap Castle, nestled in the rugged countryside of County Offaly, stands as a symbol of Ireland's haunted past. Often regarded as the most haunted location in the country, its centuries-old walls are said to house restless spirits, tragic ghosts, and one particularly malevolent entity. Its history is drenched in violence, betrayal, and death, creating the perfect breeding ground for paranormal activity. Visitors, historians, and paranormal investigators have all reported ghostly sightings and eerie occurrences in Leap Castle, making it a hotspot for those seeking a brush with the supernatural. The violent origins of Leap Castle. Leap Castle was built in the late 15th century by the O'Bannon clan, but its roots are steeped in conflict and bloodshed. The O'Bannon brothers, who fought for control of the clan, agreed to a deadly contest. Whichever brother survived a jump from the rocky outcrop where the castle would be built would earn the right to rule. This violent beginning laid the foundation for Leap Castle's tumultuous history. Soon after, the powerful O'Carroll family seized control of the castle. Known for their ruthless ambition, the O'Carrolls left a dark legacy of betrayal and violence. Under their rule, Leap Castle became a site of power struggles and gruesome deaths, many of which are believed to have left spiritual scars that persist to this day. The Bloody Chapel, a murder most foul. One of the most infamous stories from Leap Castle's past involves the brutal murder that took place in what is now known as the Bloody Chapel. After the death of the O'Carroll chieftain, his two sons, Thaddeus and Tige, vied for control of the family. Thaddeus, a priest, was conducting mass in the chapel when Tige, in a fit of rage, stormed in and murdered him in front of their congregation. This gruesome act of fratricide forever marked the chapel, which has since become a focal point for paranormal activity. Visitors often report seeing the ghostly figure of a priest, believed to be Thaddeus, wandering the area, unable to find peace. Others hear the sound of disembodied footsteps and faint whispers, despite the chapel being empty. The oppressive energy that hangs in the Bloody Chapel makes it one of the most terrifying spots within Leap Castle. The Oubliette, a chamber of death. Leap Castle's horrors extend beyond the Bloody Chapel. During renovations in the early 20th century, workers discovered a hidden oubliette, a small dungeon where prisoners were left to die. The floor of the oubliette was lined with wooden spikes, and hundreds of human skeletons were found piled inside, a grim reminder of the O'Carrolls' cruelty. It took 3 cartloads to remove the bones, revealing the extent of the carnage. The oubliette became a symbol of the O'Carroll family's barbarism, and it is said that the spirits of those who died there still haunt the castle. Visitors to the oubliette often report sudden drops in temperature, cold spots, and overwhelming feelings of dread. The moans of the forgotten souls echo through the castle, reminding all who enter of the cruelty that once defined Leap Castle. The elemental, Leap Castle's darkest entity. While the spirits of former inhabitants and victims haunt Leap Castle, none is as feared as the elemental. The elemental is a malevolent spirit, described as a small, humanoid figure covered in decaying flesh, with a stench of sulfur accompanying its presence. Its origin is shrouded in mystery, with some speculating that it was summoned by the Druids who once lived on the land, or that it is the result of dark magic performed by the O'Carrolls or later occupants. One popular theory links the elemental to Mildred Darby, the wife of Jonathan Darby, who owned the castle in the late 19th century. Mildred was known for her interest in the occult and is believed to have inadvertently summoned the creature during one of her rituals. She wrote about encountering the elemental, describing it as a grotesque figure radiating pure evil. The elemental's presence is terrifying to those who encounter it. Unlike other spirits in Leap Castle, the elemental seems intent on causing harm. Visitors have reported feelings of intense fear, nausea, and overwhelming rage when in its presence. Paranormal investigators have recorded strange activity, such as objects moving on their own, doors slamming, and temperatures plummeting. The elemental remains the castle's most feared resident, a reminder of the dark forces that still inhabit the castle. The Dogman of Leap Castle. While the Bloody Chapel, the Elemental, and the forgotten souls of the Oubliette may dominate Leap Castle's haunted reputation, there is another, more sinister figure said to stalk the dark corridors of this ancient fortress, the Dogman. The Dogman is an eerie and terrifying creature that has been spotted by visitors and residents alike, emerging from the shadows and adding to the growing list of paranormal entities that seem to dwell within Leap Castle's walls. Origins of the Dogman legend. The exact origins of the Dogman are unclear, but its legend is deeply rooted in both Irish folklore and the unique, dark history of Leap Castle. The figure is often described as a humanoid creature with canine features, standing upright like a man but possessing the snarling face, sharp claws, and fur-covered body of a dog or wolf. Some believe that the Dogman is not a true spirit or ghost but rather a shapeshifter, a being that straddles the line between the physical and supernatural realms. This creature has been associated with dark magic, curses, and even the ancient druidic rituals that may have taken place on the grounds long before the castle was built. One theory surrounding the Dogman's origin ties it to the O'Carroll family, whose brutal reign over the castle is already steeped in bloodshed and treachery. According to some accounts, the O'Carrolls may have summoned this entity as a form of dark protection, unleashing it upon their enemies during times of strife. Others believe the creature could be the result of a curse placed on the family for their horrific deeds. Alternatively, some legends claim that the Dogman was a loyal servant or soldier, who was either murdered or betrayed by the O'Carrolls and has since been cursed to roam the castle in monstrous form, seeking vengeance. Encounters with the Dogman. Despite its chilling reputation, the Dogman has only been seen by a handful of individuals, though each sighting has left an indelible mark on those who encountered it. The creature is most often spotted in the dead of night, stalking the long corridors of the castle or emerging from the shadows near the Bloody Chapel. Witnesses describe the sensation of an icy chill preceding its arrival, as though the very air becomes thick with malevolent energy just before the beast materializes. One of the earliest recorded sightings of the Dogman occurred in the late 1800s, during a time when Leap Castle was still inhabited by the Darby family. According to reports, one of the Darby's servants was making his rounds late one evening when he heard strange noises coming from one of the darkened corridors. Believing it to be a stray animal or a guest playing a prank, the servant investigated. As he approached the sound, he was met with the sight of a large, hulking figure standing at the far end of the hallway, its glowing eyes fixed on him. The figure, which stood nearly 7 feet tall, appeared to be part man and part beast, with the unmistakable head of a dog or wolf. Frozen in terror, the servant watched as the Dogman slowly advanced toward him, its growls reverberating through the stone walls. Just as the creature reached the servant, it vanished into thin air, leaving him shaken and unable to speak of the encounter for days. The Darbys, who were familiar with the paranormal activity within the castle, dismissed the servant's story at first, believing it to be the product of overactive imagination. However, when other staff members began reporting similar sightings, the legend of the Dogman became impossible to ignore. The Dogman's territory, the Bloody Chapel and beyond. Many believe that the Dogman is most frequently seen near the Bloody Chapel, where the O'Carrolls committed some of their most heinous acts of violence. The gruesome murder of Thaddeus O'Carroll by his own brother, Tej, is said to have left a permanent scar on the castle, creating an atmosphere of unrest and inviting malevolent spirits into its walls. The Dogman, with its dark and primal nature, seems to be drawn to the energy of the Bloody Chapel, where death and betrayal have lingered for centuries. Visitors who have explored the Bloody Chapel at night have reported hearing low growls and the sound of heavy footsteps following them as they move through the space. On several occasions, individuals have claimed to catch glimpses of a large, shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, its glowing eyes the only indication that something is there. One visitor described feeling a presence behind them as they stood near the altar of the chapel. When they turned, they saw a towering, dog-like figure slowly emerging from the shadows. The figure stared at them for a few moments before disappearing, leaving the visitor with a sense of overwhelming dread. The Dogman's territory extends beyond the Bloody Chapel, however. Some have encountered the beast near the Oubliette, where the remains of countless victims were found. Given the pit's gruesome history, it is believed that the Dogman may act as a guardian of sorts, ensuring that the restless spirits of those who died in the Oubliette remain trapped within the castle. Paranormal investigators who have ventured into the Oubliette have reported hearing deep growls echoing from the darkness below, as though the Dogman is watching them from the shadows. Modern-day encounters. Though sightings of the Dogman have become less frequent in recent years, its presence continues to be felt by those who visit Leap Castle. Paranormal investigators, in particular, have reported strange phenomena during their investigations, including temperature drops, the feeling of being watched, and the sound of growling in the distance. In one particularly unsettling encounter, a team of paranormal researchers visiting the castle in the early 2000s claimed to have come face to face with the Dogman. According to their account, the team was conducting an EVP, electronic voice phenomena, session in the Bloody Chapel when they heard heavy breathing coming from the corner of the room. Moments later, one of the investigators felt a cold, claw-like hand brush against their back. When they turned around, they saw a large, shadowy figure standing just beyond the circle of their flashlights. The figure appeared to be covered in fur, and its glowing eyes locked onto the investigator. The team quickly fled the room, and though they captured no photographic evidence of the creature, their audio recordings picked up the unmistakable sound of growling during the encounter. Visitors who stay overnight at Leap Castle have also reported hearing strange noises that seem to emanate from the darkest corners of the building. One guest, who stayed in the castle as part of a paranormal tour, described waking in the middle of the night to the sound of scratching at their door. When they opened the door, they saw nothing, but the sound continued, as though an animal was clawing at the wood from the other side. Theories behind the Dogman's presence. While the true nature of the Dogman remains a mystery, several theories have emerged over the years to explain its presence at Leap Castle. Some believe that the creature is a manifestation of the castle's dark energy, a physical representation of the violence and death that have plagued the building for centuries. Others suggest that the Dogman is an ancient entity, possibly a demon or spirit summoned by the Druids who once inhabited the area. Another theory posits that the Dogman is a shapeshifter, a creature that can take on both human and animal forms. Shapeshifters are a common figure in Irish folklore, often associated with the darker aspects of magic and the supernatural. In this context, the Dogman could be a guardian of the castle, protecting its secrets and ensuring that the spirits of the dead remain confined within its walls. Whatever the truth behind the Dogman may be, its presence adds another layer of fear to the already haunted Leap Castle. For those brave enough to explore its dark corridors, the Dogman serves as a reminder that some of the castle's spirits are far from human and far from friendly. The Darby family and their ghostly encounters. The Darby family's time at Leap Castle was marked by strange occurrences and paranormal encounters. Mildred Darby's interest in the occult led her to record many of the supernatural phenomena that took place during her time at the castle. She wrote of seeing two small ghostly children playing in the halls, as well as a ragged old woman who would cry out for help. These spirits, along with the elemental and the Dogman, created an atmosphere of fear and fascination. The Darbys were forced to leave Leap Castle after a devastating fire in the early 20th century, leaving the castle abandoned for decades. However, during this time, locals continued to report strange lights and sounds coming from the castle, as though the spirits that haunted it were still very much alive. The restoration of Leap Castle. In the late 20th century, Leap Castle was purchased by musician Sean Ryan, who undertook the massive task of restoring the castle to its former glory. Despite the castle's haunted reputation, Ryan and his family moved in and made it their home. Over the years, Ryan has spoken openly about the paranormal activity within the castle, stating that while the spirits are undoubtedly present, they have never posed any threat to his family. Guests and visitors to Leap Castle have continued to experience strange phenomena, including footsteps in empty rooms, doors opening on their own, and ghostly apparitions wandering the halls. Despite these eerie occurrences, Leap Castle has become a popular destination for paranormal investigators and ghost enthusiasts from around the world. Leap Castle's legacy of hauntings. Leap Castle's reputation as Ireland's most haunted location is well earned. Its history of betrayal, murder, and violence has created a permanent scar, leaving behind restless spirits, malevolent entities, and dark forces that still haunt its corridors. From the ghostly priest in the Bloody Chapel to the terrifying Dogman, Leap Castle offers a chilling glimpse into Ireland's haunted past. For those brave enough to visit, Leap Castle offers an unforgettable experience. Whether encountering the tragic spirits of its victims or feeling the malevolent presence of the elemental and the Dogman, visitors leave with more than just memories. They leave with the lingering sense that the past is never truly dead within the walls of Leap Castle. Leap Castle's dark history has left a legacy of terror and tragedy, making it one of the most haunted places in the world. From the vengeful spirits of the O'Carroll family to the mysterious Dogman lurking in the shadows, the castle is filled with ghostly apparitions and eerie encounters that continue to frighten visitors to this day. But whether you believe in the paranormal or not, Leap Castle offers a glimpse into Ireland's turbulent past, where history and the supernatural collide. Thanks for joining us on this haunting journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of the supernatural. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave.